Alright, Randy and Jal, you have read what I've tried to tell you how to do these things. This is 2 pounds of Audi ham. We buy these small packages. They come all cut up, ready to go. They're fully cooked. I'm going to place some of these in here. Now you can use the big machine with the reservoir on the bottom to catch any juices that come out. I'm going to show you that you can even use the little hand vacuum. Put the stuff in here. Comes with a lot of juice, so we might get some juice coming out of that. You want to seal this bad boy up good. I kind of squish some of the air out just so it'll do faster. Use your little hand pump. Alright, we didn't get any juice in there. You can check your reservoir. That of course comes off. You can pull it out, clean everything good. And there you got it. It is sealed up. I can pull this thing apart, take out what I need, swish the air out. That'll just make it work faster. Or of course you can use this, the big one. I broke this. The reason I'm not using it, I don't think it works as good as it used to. We've got a new one coming. But that's how you use these fresh savers. The quart, this is a gallon size. Put that in the food bin, your meat bin in your refrigerator. It'll be good to go anytime you're ready. And the last one we used it for about 2 months, doing the same thing each time I took some out for breakfast, supper, whatever. Chop it up and use it in soup. Don't ask me why I didn't send you with that first batch. It was just a food saver. The big rolls. These are 11 by 20 foot. And this is where you make your own bags. Goes in like such. And put out what you're going to need. What we're going to do is I'm going to freeze some hamburger meat. I want to be sure I'm going to leave myself plenty to vacuum here. So don't need quite that much. Roll in a little bit more of that. You want to leave yourself about 3 to 4 inches free and clear. So that's going to be good. So what I'm going to do is just press down on that cutter, run it across there. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. Then you want to seal it. Push that button, seal. Put this in until it grabs it. That's sealing it. It'll decide when it's sealed. Don't go yanking on it. You'll hear a noise. When it does that, it's ready to go. Now, because this meat will definitely be juicy, a little blood, I'm going to have a half a sheet of paper towel that I'm going to put in there. When I'm handling raw meat, I change these gloves. Whoops. I wouldn't make much of a proctologist with this. Whoops. I'm missing one here. Yep, let's try a new one. Don't want to cross-contaminate your meat, any kind of your foods. So when I put this in here, open this up, get it ready to go. Take my meat. I don't try to be too neat with it. Place that in the bottom of the bag. Don't want to waste any. Now, I'm going to take that half a paper towel, I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to get a measurement here, move it over, and I'm going to set this in like such. And that's going to be my juice blocker. Even though the machine will keep it from sucking it out and into the machine. You don't want that to ever happen. And once again, we're going to put moist, just in case any blood gets by that. It's going to end up in the blood tray here. It's not going to get in the machine. And then once again, we're going to push it in. I left a little bit too much here, but not to worry about it. For demonstration. Let it do all the work. And don't get anxious to try to pull it out. When it's done, it will have it sealed and ready to go. There you go. Like I said, I left a little bit much there. Didn't do my prep, my homework. I want to show you one thing that you can do. I overcut that, that's for sure. Too long. You can use this thing that comes with it. That's just a bag opener. Trim that off. Put it back in here. Put it at a slight angle because I've got it cut at a slight angle. Push it till it sucks it in. And there, you fixed one of your mistakes. When you put that on moist, you got dry over here, which is the default, that's what it starts off. What happens is it will actually seal this longer to be sure if there's any liquids in there, it burns through that liquid that seals it. Another thing with all the meat, because you may have recipes that call for so many pounds or something, I weigh it out on a scale here. This is exactly, well, almost exactly 1 pound, it's a little over. So I'll write on here 1 pound, and today's date is 11/3/17. That way, just keep track how long something's been in the freezer. Doesn't really make any difference. This thing will be good 6 months from now, unless I forget it's in there. It'll never last that long. Alright, this is sirloin beef tips that I use for stews and stir fries and stuff like that. And you notice I'm going to use one of the food saver bags because I can take out what I really need and seal it back up and save some for another time. It will be frozen, so I'll have to break it apart with my hands. And you can probably get by using a quart bag for this too. And yes, I change gloves with every kind of meat. I don't care, especially if you're doing chicken, pork, freezing those little boys up. All of this meat we always buy from Aldi. They got some of the best meat on the market and the prices are right. If you don't have an Aldi close by, Scott says they're going to put one in Locust, I think he said. And we're going to do the same thing with this. Even though we get the reservoir on there, you don't have to do this. I just made a habit of doing it. Don't have to worry about cleaning out the little reservoir. Squeeze out some of that air. Be sure and zip it up. If you're doing dry stuff like cereal or something like that in here, you want to be careful you don't get little pieces up in there. So we'll flip that over. Whoops, that's too far up. Make sure that's clear. And like I say, I just do that just to help it go faster. Seal that up good. Place that over there, hit the accessory button. Let the machine decide when it's got enough air out. That's ready to go. Into the freezer, I'll weigh it, put a date on it, and it's good to go. And last today is going to be our favorite type of roast. You can slow cook it, you can pressure cook it. The old boneless chuck. So we'll cut it in half so we don't have to eat the same thing for 4 or 5 days in a row. Now, I'm not going to put the paper in this time. We're going to let that little reservoir do its job. If, in fact, any juices come out, but you'll see how that works if it does. Moist. Stick him in there. Shorten that bag up just a bit, just to see if anything's going to get through to that blood catcher. Stick him in there. A little bit running out, not very much. Never get there. And yes, that's Christmas music you hear playing in the background. After all, it's November the 3rd. Like I told you in the email, we used to leave that reservoir on here all the time, but you can see Connie's about ripped this thing off. I gotta super glue that back down. You don't really need it 99% of the time. We use it for these type of canisters. This is our cereal that will stay good for months on end, unless you eat them as fast as we do. Also, this will vacuum the Fresh Saver bags as long as they're dry. You don't want to do anything, because if you suck liquid up in here, you're going to have a big problem with your machine. But I leave that on there because we use either dry bags, the baguette chips I make, we'll vacuum at that, but most times we'll use that small one. But I leave that on there, which she knows to pull that bottom off and vacuum these canisters. So I think that covers it for today. Of course, you want to go back and use either Clorox wipes or something anywhere there's been meat. I use 91% alcohol. You know, rubbing alcohol comes in 70%, which is your regular rubbing alcohol, and you got a 91%, which is 91% alcohol, and the rest of it's water. Let that sit a few minutes, wipe it down with a rag, and you've disinfected it. Do that everywhere that you've had the meat laid out. A lot of people don't know that, believe it or not. So, till next time.